All right, so in today's video, I want to explain to you guys how to use market structures to identify strong support levels and strong resistance levels. In my previous video, I explained to you guys that for support levels, I always want to identify a capital V, and for a resistance level, I always want to identify a capital A. All right, so this is just a basic understanding I have when it comes to support and resistance. All right, so today we'll go deeper into understanding how to identify strong support levels and strong resistance levels. All right. So, first of all, we all know that we have three market trends. All right. We have the uptrend, we have the downtrend, and we also have the ranging market or the sideways markets, or what others call the consolidation. All right. So these are the three main types of market trends. All right. So let's do this. When it comes to uptrend, we have what market moving in what series of highs. All right. Market moving in a series of highs. When it comes to downtrend, we see the market moving in a series of what lows. All right. And in a sideways market, we all see that the market is just stuck between a floor and a ceiling where market just goes and bounces off, right? So there's just what the sideways or the ranging market, all right? So basically, when we look at, let me use the uptrend to explain this. When we look at the uptrend, you know that anytime market is going to move to a new high, price usually retraces to what a resistance level. All right. Market retraces to a resistance level and it's what pushes up. All right. So you notice that for uptrends, we usually want to identify what broken resistance levels. All right. Broken resistance levels. Broken resistance levels. What others call the break of what market structure. All right. When we look at the downtrend, too, you notice that market usually what breaks the support levels. All right. So we always want to see what the support level broken. Support level broken. What is this information telling you? This is telling you that for us to be able to catch uptrends, we always want to identify resistances being broken. Okay, you always want to identify resistances being broken. So that resistance becomes a base or a reference for us to what pinpoint which area or which level market is going to rise from. All right, which level of the market price is going to rise from. All right, so with this understanding, let me now break it down for you. Okay, so we all know that market doesn't move in a direct path. Okay, direct path means that market doesn't just move in a straight line. Market usually what makes series of zigzag movements, then a market to retrace, then continue to move, then retrace, then continue to move, then retraces. So you notice that even though we are in an uptrend, if you look at the bigger picture, we have this low, we have this high. So this area becomes what? A lower high. Why? Because it's higher than this previous low. Then this point now becomes what? A higher high. Why? Because it is higher than this previous high, and it goes on and on like that. All right. So looking at this illustration, you notice that even though we are in an uptrend, market still makes series of what? Zigzag movement. Okay, and this series of zigzag movement is what usually confuses a lot of traders. Okay, it confuses a lot of traders because an instance like this, you notice that here we are having sort of like a break of structure here, right? So someone would think that, oh, market has broken this previous structure. So what do? We just wait for markets to reach to a level, then we will sell. They notice that the person will sell thinking the person would want to hold, then the market smashes their stop loss and pushes to the upside. Okay, so these are some of the challenges a lot of forex traders face when it comes to identifying strong support levels or strong resistance levels. Okay, so now let me break it down for you. So here in a bigger picture, so let's say in a higher time frame, right? So let's say there's the 4 hour time frame. In the higher time frame, okay, in higher time frame, we can clearly spell out that we have what an uptrend. Okay, market is moving in an uptrend. So what you would identify or what you would note to yourself is that the 4-hour is bullish. Okay, and there is statement that the trend is your friend. Okay, so what you do here is that you would want to identify the trend of the market in higher time frame. All right, you would want to identify the market's trend in a higher time frame. So if when the higher time frame, let's say 4 hour, is telling you that the market is bullish, then all you would want to do, okay, is to look for setups or entries that would push price to the upside. Okay, that would push price to the upside. All right, so here, let me use this particular illustration here. So here you notice that as market moves, is moving upwards and makes a lower low and it pushes upwards. Now, what we want to do is we want to identify what this the series of what resistance levels that has been broken. All right, that has been broken. So let me take this typical example. So here you notice that we have what market move up and it made a retracement. Let me change the color. So you notice the market moved up and made a retracement and what it broke structure. Okay. In this instance, you notice that we had a first retest here and market continued to push upwards. Right. So now with this particular illustration here, you would mark this area as an historical what support level. Okay, this particular area becomes an historical support level because it was able to push price to the upside. Okay, so what can happen is that when the market pulls back, there's a likelihood that that particular area will hold because what is being tested. So I usually term this as an internal resistance becoming support. Okay, an internal resistance becoming support. So now, when you look at the overall trend, you can tell that what since this area has been able to push price to the upside, then we can also consider. Okay, we can also consider the fact that this area can also hold forward a long opportunity or let's say a buy opportunity. Okay, so these are some of the informations you always need to highlight when it comes to identify strong support and resistance level. You always have to highlight. So, for instance, we are in an uptrend, right? So your focus should be to identify resistances that have become what support. Okay, all your mind should tell you that you want to see your resistances broken to become support because support is the area where price will bounce off for a buy. Okay, so your intent or your mind should always be focused on identifying what resistance levels now become what support levels. Okay, this way you will know that price is coming forward, a retest forward, a continuation in the uptrend or in the direction of the market. All right. So now let's take another example using a downtrend. So in a downtrend, you notice that we have a series of down movements. Market pulls back, taps into a particular level and continues to dip down, right? And pushes back up and will continues to push down. Okay, so in the overall picture, you notice that what we have support being broken, all right, then support being broken, and the market but makes a series of lows. All right, the market makes a series of lows. So what do we do now? Now, all we have to tell ourselves is that we want to identify support levels being broken to become what a resistance level, right? Because we want to sell off at resistance levels. All right. So here in this particular instance, we had this minor support level here, and we also have this minor support level here. All right. So if you notice, when I highlight this particular area, price now was comes back to big. So now these support levels have become what a resistance level where now markets can what retest forward continuation to the downside. So it's all about what identifying what broken supports. Okay, so this is a technique I basically use to identify these levels and always helps me to move in a trend or in a direction of the market. All right. So for uptrend, you want to identify resistances broken that has become support. All right. Based on certain internal market structures. All right. And also when we look at the downtrend, we want to see support levels broken. Okay, that has become what a resistance level. So we want to identify internal support levels being broken to become what resistance for what a sell continuation. I hope this explanation is clear enough. Now let's go into the chart and I'll show you some examples of how I apply these principles. All right, so this is the chart for Bitcoin. Okay, this is the chart for Bitcoin. So in a 4-hour time frame, we can clearly tell that market is moving in an uptrend. Okay, market is moving in an uptrend. Okay, but we have no control as to where price would come and react from and continue to the upside. We have no control of that. All right. So here is what this is what we do. Like I explained earlier, you notice that as the market keeps moving, the market makes series of what zigzag movements. Okay, these zigzag movements are historical patterns, okay, or are historical movements that can help you to identify where or the areas market can react from for what more continuation entries. All right. So now let's consider this particular entry area here. Okay, let's consider this particular entry area here. Now, we know that overall, we are in an uptrend looking at the 4-hour time frame, right? So if we look here, so here, let me label these areas. So we have this support, this resistance, this support, this resistance, all right? So we don't know where price is going to retest. But based on certain historical facts, okay, based on certain historical facts. So let's use this. So now I highlight this particular area here. Like I explained in the previous video, when we are in an uptrend, we want to see resistances that have been broken. Okay, you want to see resistances broken that now becomes what a support area that can push price to the upside. Okay, so in this particular example, you notice that here was a resistance level, right? When we switch to the line chart, you see it was a resistance level, right? So now we notice that price tapped into that particular resistance level and which became support. It pushed price upwards. There was a manipulation and market pushed up again. Okay. Now, this same zone price came to retest that particular zone for a buy. So now this area becomes an historical area or an historical zone that would indicate to us that price has the potential of coming for a retest to continue in the direction of the market. All right. So you notice that here price go close, pushed up and came back again. Now, based on these historical facts and based on the fact that resistance is being broken, internally it became what a support level or a grounds for price to push up. So now this area can be an area where price would be able to push price to the upside. Okay, so now what happens? Price came to tap into that area for what a buy opportunity. All right. Let's look for another example. It is very simple, guys. It is very, 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 very simple. Now, let's look at this side. Okay. So here we have what? A resistance. We have a support. We have a resistance. Okay. So now we can clearly tell this a downtrend, right? So now here we know that here is what a lower low because this structure have been broken, right? So clearly we know there's a downtrend. So now we don't know where market is going to retrace from. Okay, where the market is going to tap for a sell, right? But based on historical facts, now let's look at some of the historical facts or historical support and resistance levels, all right? Now, when I highlight this particular area, okay, when I highlight this particular area, you notice that Here was what? So now there's a downtrend. Okay, so all we want to see is I want to see support levels broken to become what? Resistances. All right, we want to see support levels broken to become resistances for us to catch the continuation of the trend. All right, so here, in fact, let me still extend the zone. All right, so now looking at the trend of the market, okay, we can tell that this is what a significant what support level. All right, and this significant support level was once a resistance in a previous price action. So now, market pulls back, taps into this area, it became what? A support. Then it pushes price to the upside. All right. Market comes, you notice that market struggled to break below this area. Okay. So this struggle here, all right. Later, when I'm explaining to you some of my entry setups, there is a term for this movement. All right. So you notice the market struggled to break below this particular support level here, but eventually it broke down, right? Because of this resistance and because of this struggle here, this is an indication that this particular support level is a strong level, right? This particular support level is a strong level. Now, what did I say? We are in a downtrend, so we want to see support levels becoming resistance levels, all right? And historically, when we look here, here was once a resistance level that became what? A support level. It is a likelihood that this particular resistance level would play out, okay, or would push price in our direction. And what happened? Price continued to move in a downtrend. So, like I said, always use historical support and resistance levels within the overall direction of the trend. Okay, within the overall direction of the trend. So for an uptrend, you always want to see resistances broken, becoming support levels, and always identify the historical movements of the market within those internal resistance levels. All right. All right. So now let's take this particular example here. So here we have this low, this high, this lower low, right? So clearly we want to see market push to a particular area we don't know, right? Then we want to see market push. When we look within that particular trend, all right, what do we have here? We notice that we had what support level here. All right, so we are in a downtrend. So we want to see resistance, support levels broken, becoming resistance. All right. So now we identify this particular support level here. Right. So historically, you'll notice that when I highlight that area, okay, when I highlight that area, we had a few internal movements here. Right. So when we consider this particular support level, we had this internal movement here, right? So market pushed price a bit higher and broke below, and it became what? A resistance. Now, market has clearly broken below this particular support level. So here it becomes what? A lower low. So we want to see what? A retracement for market to push again in the direction of the market. So what happened? Price came to tap into that historical zone again. Why? Because price reacted here, reacted here again. So here is a likely area or a likely zone for market to continue moving in a downside.